Ja Rastafari.
Ricky Show.
What up, world? It's Ricky. Welcome back to another exciting episode of The Ricky Show. Recently, there's been a lot of talk on the news about stuff pertaining to race relations, like No More Voting Rights Act, and President Obama is still black, and Trayvon Martin's still dead. I'm still a sweaty boy. So I thought I would just take it upon myself to be your, how should I say this? Your token? No. Your Nubian? No, I don't like that. Your melanin-infused tour guide. Come on! Now let me just preface this by saying, I know I'm opening up myself a little bit for some scrutiny, and racial things could always be a little bit of a touchy subject, but I guess I'll just give a little bit of my background. So I grew up in a white neighborhood, went to a white school, and work at a white job. I love all people. I'm a really inclusive type of guy. Black, white, brown, blue, yellow people, pickled, mustard colored people. It really doesn't matter to me. I think a really cool thing about people of my generation, this millennial term they keep throwing around, race really isn't as much of a pressing, divisive issue as it once was. It's not to say that we don't have problems anymore. Sure, the KKK and the NCAA can come together and talk about bullshit. We're all people, we all have similar traits, we all love, we all fear, we all have needs, we all need a roof over our head and clothes on our back, unless you're a nudist, in which case, hey, invite me. Ding. But aside from just whatever we see in the news cycle, which is usually just a bunch of talking heads spouting just competing forms of negativity at one another, there really is something that's been happening in my personal life that I really feel that I need to address. In case you haven't noticed, I am black. I know, right? Big shock when I found out too. So I'm coming at this from a couple different angles. Aside from all this stuff in the news and people being like, well, I think we live in a post-racial society. And other people being like, oh no, there's still all kinds of race-related problems. We need to address this kind of shit. Now, white people, we are on a first-name basis at this point, right? I'm sure you all have like at least one black friend. Many of you probably only have one black friend. Many of you may not have any black friends. In that case, I'll be your first one. And it's with an open mind that I accept this responsibility and will usher you into a higher racially enlightened understanding to guide you through some of the more taboo, passe things. First off, if you have an idea or a joke and you have to be like, hey black guy, is it offensive if XYZ? Now without even knowing the question or the joke, I'm just gonna say, if you have to ask, it probably is. Reconsider. Alright, I can see how maybe this is starting to look a little bit one-sided. So to make this a fair debate and not just one man's verbal diarrhea, I'm going to bring in for the first time a very special guest here on The Ricky Show, Mr. White Sock. Mr. White Sock, how's it going today?
Hey, Ricky, I'm doing great today. How are you?
I'm great, Mr. White Sock. Boy, it sounds like you got something, you know, a little windpipe issue.
This is just how I talk. You'd really stop giving me shit about it.
Alright, Mr. White Sock, you know what we're talking about today, right?
Yeah, racism.
Well, not racism per se, but it's more like race relations and perceptions and, you know, kind of trying to purge those elephants out of the room.
Yeah, whatever, Blackie.
Whoa, hey, there's no need for name calling. I mean, we're here as like equal brothers and partners, like in the load, like strength, si se puede, and all that kind of stuff.
I've never say anything in my whole life.
Do you have any questions or anything?
Was Obama born in America?
Yes.
Can all black people dance good?
Yeah, pretty much.
Do all black men have big
Well, Mr. White Sock, for the most part.
Am I allowed to use the N-word?
Not really. I'll actually take a second to answer this one in a little bit of detail. The N-word can be a tricky thing, people. It's so ingrained in like rap music, and you see non-black people saying it now. Hey, my nigga. Yeah, my nigga. Side note, ER and A ending, different thing, totally different meanings, but we'll save that for another video. Anyway, can white people say the N-word? Well, generally no, and really most people shouldn't be using it at all. It's a derogatory term, but in the African American community it's been adopted as a term of endearment to identify with one another, replacing the ER with an A, and it's all love, bro. It's a good thing, and that's fine. We can debate the importance of this word and its etymology and its historiography for days and minutes, and I've already said more about it than I really care to. The bottom line is, if you grew up in, say, Detroit, and you didn't see another white person until you were 12 years old, and all you know is that culture and whatever, and those are your friends, and that's how you speak to one another, then yeah, maybe a casual N-bomb between your bros every now and then is probably kosher. Kosher. See what I did there? Mazel tov! But let's say your exposure to African American culture pretty much starts and stops with the Dave Chappelle show. Now, if that's the case, then no, you are not entitled. And I think that's why Chappelle is suffering so much backlash, and part of the reason he went crazy and moved to Africa is because he felt responsible for perpetuating a lot of those stereotypes that we're trying to now move away from. And if we were all like, hey, it's great, we can all say cracker and N-bomb and this or that and the whatever, and nobody cares, and we're all truly in a post-racial society, then hey, it really doesn't matter, and then none of this crap is even worth talking about. So, in conclusion, I think it's all about context, and keeping an open line of communication is key. But don't be surprised if your black counterpart gets offended when you're like, hey bro, oh perfect, I'm so glad I ran into you. I had this question about this black joke, and it was about fried chicken and watermelon, which are great by the way, bro. I'm not saying anything against you, I love those things. That's fine. It could be a little taboo, but honestly, if we're not willing to look within ourselves and have those discussions and have those conversations and draw those lines and at least talk about it, then we're going to be spinning our wheels and stuck in this whole non-racial, post-racial muck in the mire for the next 50 years. So anyway, folks, tried to infuse some humor in there. Hope I didn't offend anybody. If I did, well, whatever. Say bye, Mr. White Sox.
Bye, Mr. White Sox.
Cool. Thank you for watching. Hero shot. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Do you like my new hair? Rastafari. Anyway, guys, my name's Ricky. Let me know what you think. We'll see you next time.